Good evening. My name is Calliope. I will be your optometrist today. What can I help you with? Okay, I did see something like that in my appointment book. Okay, well, will you just give me your name and date of birth to confirm, please? Okay, and how do you spell that surname for me? Okay, perfect. And you said your date of birth was what? Okay, great. Alright, perfect. So, you came in today with, will you just refresh my mind? Okay, anal glaucoma. Alright. And what are your major symptoms of this? Okay, you just can't see your ass going into work today. Alright. Well, believe it or not, I've heard of this, and although it is a rather strange and unexplained condition, it's a lot more common than you think. It affects every gender, affects all ethnicities. The more curious thing is when it happens to occur. Generally, a patient suffers from anal glaucoma when maybe about the start of the week, the end of the week, more notably Mondays or Fridays. Yes, my rosters are generally filled with patients with this disease on Mondays and Fridays. Well, let's go ahead and get started, and if you do suffer from this condition, I have a cure-all for it. Works every time, 60% of the time. So, do you have any current eye conditions, acute or chronic? Okay, do you wear contacts or glasses? Okay, have you noticed any changes in your vision lately? No? Okay. Do you have any family history of eye diseases, eye problems? Okay. And do any members of your immediate family wear contacts or glasses? And do you have a history of diabetes in the family? Okay. Well, as you know, diabetes does tend to affect our vision quite a bit. Right. Okay. Well, before we get started, let me just cap my pen here. So I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to get a little up close and personal with you. I just want to check the physical health of your eyes. There we are. There we are. Alright. So again, I'm going to get a little up close and personal, if you don't mind. Okay, do I have permission to touch your face? I won't try to do it too heavily. I won't do some heavy petting. It's just going to be some very light pulling, maybe some pressing, things of that nature. Okay, I'm going to go up and come up a little close to you here. Okay. Alright, I don't see any redness in the whites of your eyes. No blue sclera, that's good. And it's pink where it needs to be. Doesn't look like you have any scratches or irritation. No lumps or bumps around the eye area. Okay, let me go ahead and look at the other one. Alright, your eyelids look clear. No sign of drooping really no sign of tiredness, which is a classic symptom of anal glaucoma. Okay. Alright. If you don't mind, I'm going to get a little up close and personal again, but this time with a tool. So, now this little tool here is generally used as an otoscope, right? So, in the optometrist world, or at least my personal world, it also works very well as a flashlight and a magnifying glass. So, 2 birds, 1 stone, 1 tool. Alright? So, I'm going to turn on the light here. There we are. Okay, I'm going to look into your eyes. Sorry, this is a touch bright. Okay, perfect. Alright, look into my otoscope. Right. So from all I'm seeing, you are looking perfectly normal, my dear. Well, we'll go ahead and do some eye tests, and we'll see how that comes up. Now, before I forget, did you need us to write you a school or work release form? Yes, yeah, I figured so. Okay, well, my first test that we're going to do is something you're probably very familiar with. It's a Smellin Pie Chart test. My Smellin chart is a little different. It is a much bigger board, and it is a black background with white letters, which is a little different than people are used to, but contrast is still the same. Okay? Alright. So here we are. My lovely Smellin test. So what I'm going to do is hold this like this, okay? I want you to cover your left eye for me. Okay, good, thank you. Alright, go ahead and read this top letter for me. Okay, and these two. Good, and here. Perfect, and this one. Okay, so we're gonna jump forward a little bit. Alright, can you read this one for me? Okay, we're gonna jump again. This one, please. Okay, great. So I'll have you uncover your left eye, and if you'd cover your right eye for me. Right. If you could please read this line backwards. Great. Okay, and if you'll read this one. Great. How about this one under the line backwards? Perfect. Okay, and how about this one last time? Okay, why don't you uncover your eyes? Can you read me the furthest line down that you can, please? Yep. Alright. Okay, good. Perfect. Alright, my dear, your visual acuity seems to be in tip-top shape. Your eyes are working together quite harmoniously. So, you don't happen to have any color blindness run in the family, do you? No. Have you had any history of color blindness at all? No. Okay. Well, for the sake of our time here, we don't need to go through with a color blindness test. Generally, you don't just all of a sudden develop it overnight, and you would probably notice. So, we'll go ahead and move on. So, let's recap my pen, and we will do a cover test. So, I have a little laminated sheet of paper here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover one of your eyes. Well, I'm going to have you look at the wall behind me first, and then I'll cover one of your eyes, and then the other, and I'll just check how they react, if they unfocus, anything of that nature, just to make sure that they're working together like they should be, okay? So what I'm going to have you do, dear, is I'm going to have you look at the wall behind me, please. Okay, just stare at the wall, and I'm going to come in, and I'm just going to cover your eye and look at the other. Great. Great. Okay. And cover that other eye. Awesome. Okay. Alright. Perfect. Now, I'll have you blink a few times. Okay. I want you to look at the wall behind me again, but on this side. Okay. Okay, and the other side. Great. Okay, this time what I want you to do is stare right at my nose, and I'm going to do the same thing, okay? Alright. Just keep staring at my nose. Alright. Looks great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is a little eye movement test, okay? You've probably done this before. So what we're going to test for right now is your smooth eye movement, which is also called pursuits, okay? So I'm going to have you do a little thing called follow the light. That's okay. Alright, so I just want you to look at the light, and without moving your head, I'm just going to move it back and forth. I want your eyes to follow it, okay? Alright, let's just move it back and forth. You're doing great. Excellent. Alright, now this time we're going to do your pursuits, but with one of my fingers. So I'll just have you, again, keep your head still. Just follow my finger, alright? Okay. Alright. Excellent. Okay, so now this time we're going to do something a little different. Now this next one is going to be called the Saccade Movement. Okay, so this is going to be your more quick eye movements, okay? I apologize for any noise from the office upstairs. It is kind of a busy place this time of day. Alright, so what I'm going to do for your Saccade movement is I'm going to have one finger here, and I just want you to track your eyes back and forth without moving your head, okay? back and forth, left and right. Okay? Alright. I'm going to put them a little closer. Go ahead. Okay, and a little farther away. Alright. Excellent. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and check your visual field. So what I'm going to do for this test is I am going to have you stare right at my nose, and I'm going to be, let's do it like this. I'm going to be wiggling either of my fingers in your peripheral vision. I just want you to either tell me which side or point to it, whatever you want to do, okay? So look straight at my nose. Right. Okay, I'm going to do something a little different. Great. Okay, for another visual peripheral vision kind of test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one of my fingers come into your line of vision, okay? It's going to come from outside of your vision, so when you see it come into your vision, just let me know, okay? Brilliant. Excellent. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. Okay, my dear. Well, it looks like we've gotten you pretty much all taken care of. And to be honest, I think you're right. I think you do have a case of anal glaucoma. But, luckily, I have the panacea for you. So, let me just go ahead and write you down a prescription. Okay. Let me go ahead and just pull this out of here. Alright, and this is a copy of my very, very legit prescription pad, okay? Yeah, that's the cure-all right there. So, if you're still feeling like your ass ain't going, you can't see your ass going into work, that's the cure right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that to you. Yeah, most people right after that point where I give them their cure, they, immediately walk out the door and usually call up their job and say, hey, I am coming into work today. So do you still want that work school release form? Okay. Well, just for you, I'll do you a solid this time. I'll tell them, let's see. I mean, I could tell them that you have, hepatitis of the eye. I mean, if you want. Or maybe, bleeding like a stuck pig. That one always gets you out of work. Okay, maybe something a little more, yeah, okay. How about, let's go with, stick stuck in eye. Pulled out. Will return tomorrow. Stick stuck in eye. See, hepatitis of the eye was very manly. I would have gone with that, but stick stuck in eye works too. So, my dear, we are finished here, and I hope not to see you back very soon, except for your year checkup, right? 2-year checkup, rather. Okay. Well, it was great seeing you, and I hope you make it into work tomorrow. Okay. Have a good evening.